Target destroyed.
Hello, and welcome to Mechwarrior Online. I want to talk to you about one of the most important mechs that's on the battlefield. No, it's not my LRM boats. It's not my ATM boats. It certainly isn't any of your ballistic builds or any of your laser vomit boats or whatever else you've got planned on the battlefield. I'll tell you who it is, and we have to go looking for him to find it. I was able to get this kill theoretically in a match because I was told where this guy was at. Normally you wouldn't find me over here in any of my LRM or ATM boats. This is where mechs go to die. Case in point. But around this corner is the culprit. The guy who alerted me to this position.
Target acquired.
See that little guy? This is probably, in my opinion, one of the most valuable players on the battlefield. No, I'm not going to shoot him. Yes, this is a commando, but this is a light mech. Light mechs are invaluable because they have speed, and a lot of times they're stealthy. Having speed and stealthiness is one of the things that's going to make the difference between winning a match and losing a match. And it's because you're going to be able to find the people on the battlefield much easier. So light mechs, just from my point of view, do as much or more to the survival of a match as anybody else. Now this guy can spot that guy way down there and let the rest of the team know where he's at, and that way we can take them out. So whenever I start a match, I tell people, everybody try to stay together, call out targets, don't forget your override, and hit that R button. And then sometimes I'll throw in light mechs. This of course doesn't apply to you. Please go out and punish the rest of the other team. Or I'll say punish the mechs who were unfortunate enough to bring their mechs to battle. Or another one I sometimes say is light mechs, go and perform late term abortion, because it's essentially what they're doing, all three of those things. They're going to go out and punish the other team, they're going to make them regret they brought that build into the match, and they're going to make their lives generally cease to exist. Whether they do the damage or they call out the target and we do the damage. In this NovaCat, I regularly do over 1,000 damage. That's 1,000 damage. That's a lot. And when I take this particular mech out, I typically go out with about 3,300 missiles. It varies, but sometimes it's 3,000 missiles. Sometimes I'm feeling a little bit more gregarious and I go out with 3,755 missiles. That is a lot. But I have to watch my cooling when I do that because I have to give up double heat sinks. These light mechs, they make my life so much better. I recently had a match where I did 1,248 damage throughout the match, and we won the match, not quite by a landslide, but pretty close. I think it was 12-3 or something like that. But the light mechs are really what made it possible. I was zooming in on the last 5 mechs in the battle, and I only had 3 kills, I think, throughout the battle. And those 3 kills, 2 of those kills were made possible by light mechs. And I would say at least 800 damage was made possible by light mechs that were in the background, doing what they do. Scouting, spotting, punishing the other team. And one of the other things that light mechs do that doesn't get talked about very much is sometimes they don't have a really big build for weapons, and what they'll do is they'll actually do a little bit of backstabbing and get the players to turn around. I've seen a Raven, a Commando, Locust, Plea, a plethora of other light mechs, Interspear and Clan, turn the tide of a match where it was 3-6, and somehow that 3 kills that they had jumbled all the way up to 12. I watched a Raven go through a match where it was just him and there was 5 other players, and it wasn't even a 3L, and he managed to kill the last 5 players in the match. That was impressive, and he did it simply by doing 2 things very well: attacking, withdrawing, that's one thing, and the other was taking his time. If you've got 7 minutes left on the match, why are you in a rush to get into the fight? Retreat, find better spots, attack, attack, attack. Keep them always guessing where you're at. You want to create fear, and that's what light mechs do best on the battlefield. When I go out on the battlefield, I'm not afraid of giant mechs like an Awesome, or, well, it's not really a giant mech, but like a Godzilla. I don't have any fear of a Godzilla. I can take those out. I take them out rarely. Warlord, I built a build on my dire whale specifically for killing warlords, and it works really well, and I didn't even have to do a dire star to do it. So I'm not afraid of those mechs. What I am afraid of is little mechs like a Commando or a Piranha. Those mechs are the bane of my existence. I don't carry a lot of defensive weapons. 2 ER medium lasers is nothing. But what a Commando can do is the Commando can really turn the tide of the match, and that's what I wanted to tell you today. So yeah, I'm not going to kill this guy. If he's on the other team, oh absolutely, I will go out of my way to make his life difficult. But these things are tough. But my missiles aren't going to do squat here, and if I shoot him even in the head, it's hard to find because his head is so small. And these are direct hits. Typically when you're attacking one of these guys, it looks more like this. I barely did any damage to him. Or maybe you'll get lucky. Get one of these. Yeah, you can see why it's going to take a while. They're so small, and that's zoomed up. He can take punishment all day. Unless you get a direct hit on his leg, you're not going to do much, and I didn't really do much there. You might get lucky and get some of those. These guys are the unsung heroes of the battlefield. I know it's corny, but really, light mechs do a lot. I've seen matches go in where an entire squad was just all Commandos, and they basically ruled. I don't know what their score was at the end of the match, but they definitely just made everybody's life on the other team just suck. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope to see you on the battlefield. And I hope when I am out on the battlefield, I don't see one of these little guys coming in on me, because that is the nightmare.